a little off the cuff yap session for you, and then we can just watch this unfold. Maybe not in silence. I'll put music on or something. That sounds right. What you're looking at is what me and a group of my friends would call ooblore, and that's just this like fictional universe we've created where the characters are like loosely designed off of our real life selves, our real life counterparts, and basically this is just a medium for me to draw us like beating the piss out of each other alongside other, other things like running away from large creatures, fantastical things. Usually I go to this when I'm not motivated to draw my own world of content. Like, it's just really difficult to make stuff from scratch. So whenever I want to study something or like try and get a whole piece in for a process breakdown, I'll go to this instead of compromising my own universe, which I shouldn't think about it like that. I really should just start it because, I'll never be good enough to match the image in my head. Like I and I alone appreciate the joy that I get from this universe that doesn't exist because it doesn't exist. Like I have to make it for anyone else to appreciate it, but I don't want to make it because I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it justice, and then you won't appreciate it. It's really a cycle of doom. I've already gone into a tangent, but the ooblore is like that. It's just, I'm making this from imagination. Essentially, usually it's while I'm on a run. I'll just think about a scene, like an actual like scene, like out of a movie that I just make up, involving ooblore or involving my own story, and then I'll draw it. Rarely do I use mood boards. I want to use mood boards more. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I think it's quite useful. I did for this piece, and if I didn't at the beginning, I'll put it up now. The mood board that I referenced, I put together for this, and then I might not, because I might have lost it. And if we're standing here awkwardly still staring at the piece being drawn instead of a mood board, that's why. It's because I lost it. Imagine that I have it all together and that I know what I'm doing, if that makes you feel better about not being able to see the mood board. The process of this was just, I think I did I know the formal process is sketch, do a rough, a less rough, and then a fine. If you skip the less rough, you save time. Shout out to White Manga, he's cool. But I did a rough into a less rough only of the anatomy of the figures. I did not do a less rough of the background just because my attention span is not gonna survive. You can insert this generation and short form content, how it affected them, comment here, I guess. But I don't even have social media. I don't consume short form content. I think my attention span is just naturally short for things that I just don't really care to give my attention to. I'm pretty good at faking it though. I have gone through college, and when threatened with a bad grade, I can absolutely find something interesting to grab onto. And usually I do. Usually my initial conclusion that it wasn't interesting is just based upon some kind of incorrect face value analysis of it, of whatever I'm studying. But yeah, this piece was, I think this process in particular is going to be the process that I use from here on out until I find a better process or just get better at drawing. This kind of rough, less rough only on the anatomy into the inking immediately. It does come back to bite me with the hands, because the less rough on the hands was not done. I don't think I actually did a less rough of that. So it didn't actually come back to bite me. If I did the process right, it wouldn't have. But I did have to end up going back over them. Such is life. There's not a full piece that I've ever done that didn't have some kind of like, oh, everything's coming down, it's crashing down, the piece is ruined kind of phase. You know, a few minutes where I'm like, what did I just spend 3 hours doing? This looks horrible. Like, that's normal. Until you get more mileage with the entire process, I feel like there's always going to be that moment of panic, like, this looks rancid, I should just do something else. Which you're probably looking at, you know, thinking, how in the world does this become the final piece? But that's the beauty of it, maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about. I do wish that I kind of had more eyes as far as like, I don't know. I'm lucky to have a group of friends that occasionally interact with my art. They'll have like a little comment like, oh, is that me? Or I like that frog that you drew. Or maybe they'll react with a fire emoji. I enjoy it when they do that, when they react with a fire emoji. It makes me happy. But I can't really get like solid critique from them because we don't all consume art in this creative way. It's pretty much me and one other person who makes art in a completely different medium. So it's not very compatible. I mean, it doesn't even have to be like, you know, drawing. I would also like to make a story with someone, you know, like Ooblor. You know, someone writes from scratch and we just create together in real time, but you can't have it all, you know. Woe is me. I'm still fortunate to, like I said, have the group of friends, period. And they do occasionally interact with my art. But, you know, the day I find someone who interacts with art in the same way that I do, that'll be a good day. Especially if it's multiple people. It's just someone who I can, like, ask specific stuff. Like, I have to go to YouTube and watch Proco break down a skeleton and a bean and a robo bean to figure out what I'm doing wrong. And I inevitably, I just don't figure out what I was looking for because I get distracted by the content of the video instead of the one thing I was going there for. It really all comes back to my attention span. I should just make a curriculum for myself, maybe. Until then, yes, I do have multiple eyes. I don't have as many eyes as I want to have. That's okay. My motivation has lasted me this far. I'm not really prone to burnout. I'm quite easily entertained by my own daydreams as far as like this scene goes. I just thought about it on a treadmill and I just kind of let it play it out, staring at, you know, nothing while I hallucinate this scene. And that pretty much does it. Like, whenever I don't want to work on the main stuff, that'll do. I'm a simple creature in that way. But, you know, one day I'm like worried, you know, that's not going to last me forever. One day I won't have anything, you know, find me. Like the scene just won't find me. I won't know what I'm thinking about. I won't know what characters to draw. I'm complaining. Whatever. That's okay. And now that I am complaining, I think that my skill right now is stagnating. I also blame that on the community. I would think that if I had, you know, some tension, some not competition, doesn't have to be competition. I know I personally would greatly grow if I did have, competition, but not everyone grows the same. If I just had community in this specific facet of art, just creating it, giving critique to one another, making stuff together, I think I would grow a little bit faster. But such is life. A lot of good cards have been drawn in my circumstance, in my situation. I've got dealt a good set of cards. I think that no matter what happens, whether I'm moving forward or backwards, I think I'm satisfied with just moving for the sake of moving. I don't know if that's dystopian or not. Is that is that consumerist in some way? Or producerist? I'm not really buying anything. Am I too fixated on doing things? Can I just relax maybe? Is me speculating about it also saying something about me? Before I start asking too many questions that aren't related at all to what I was talking about in the tangent before that tangent, I'll just leave you with those thoughts. Moving for the sake of moving. Would I be creating any of this if I didn't have this group of friends? Even when they don't necessarily interact with the art so often as I would like in a perfect world. And I used to say obviously I'd be still making this art. But now I don't know. I like drawing. I'm pretty sure I'm going to draw for the rest of my life. I hope that's not pompous to say. I can't see the future or anything, but if things keep playing out how they're playing out, then I can entertain myself pretty well for a pretty long time. Just drawing people beating each other up should suffice. But, I don't know, is becoming the answer. If someday they just stop altogether, instead of the fire emoji, I get silence. Will I just keep posting to that channel? Will I draw less? Will my progress suffer? Even if I keep drawing, will I lose the motivation to draw certain things that I would have? I don't know. It's not as obvious to me anymore.
Chillpeach.